All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So I don't really talk about golf on this channel, but I thought this was an interesting story that had wide-ranging reach across sports. The PGA Tour and LIV Golf, after a protracted legal battle for players that saw hundreds of $1 million go to players like Phil Mickelson, have decided to merge. Now, I don't know what the new entity is going to be. I don't think that those details have come out. It looks like the Live Golf, in particular, the Saudi Sovereign Investment Fund, has sole rights to invest into the PGA Tour. So we'll see what that means eventually. But I think this is a huge story for a couple of reasons. Obviously, if you're a PGA Tour player like Tiger Woods, who's been offered almost $1 billion to join, I think you're pretty upset today. If I was one of these players like Tiger Woods or John Rahm or Roy McIlroy that held out and fought for the integrity of the PGA Tour and felt that they wanted to show loyalty to the PGA Tour, I think this was a slap in the face. And if I'm them, I might threaten not to play until I get my bag. Okay, well, I'm not going to get the full bag that y'all offered me, but I need at least some of the bag to, ensure that y'all going to get me to continue to play. But we'll see what happens to that. Now, I read actually that the players would actually have a stronger antitrust case when the ABA and the NBA merged. Oscar Robertson sued for antitrust because this limits his options. The players before were able to play the two leagues against each other, and they can't anymore. So we'll see if that happens. That might be an avenue which some of the players who didn't get their coin might get their coin. But the large ranging issue I want to talk about is just this Saudi money. I mean, the amount of money that they have, like Logan Roy said, money always wins. Like Jerry was telling Roman, if you're a Secession fan, when she found out that he was going to fight against the merger, she told him, the money is just too powerful. The money is going to wash you away. And I think that's what happened with the PGA Tour. I think people underestimate how much money the Saudi Arabia sovereign wealth fund, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, has. This is just, you have people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, and you hear this guy's the richest man in the world and that guy's the richest man in the world. But that's paper money. That has to do with their stocks. And that's why it fluctuates up and down. These people actually have cash on hand. Whenever gas prices get exorbitantly high, they're making, literally billions of dollars off of it. They have so much money that they're talking about building a $500 billion, once again, a $500 billion city in the middle of the desert that's going to be futuristic, that's going to have ski resorts and be in this echo bubble. And they made so much money off of the recent gas. They've made so much money off of the recent gas price boom that happened last year that they could afford it. And they have the money to offer Tiger Woods $1 billion, and it's nothing to them. The way that this has wide ranging tentacles is you're seeing this in soccer. You're seeing Lionel Messi considering leaving, the powerhouse clubs to go play for a Saudi Arabia team when they're offering him upwards of $200 million a year. They've already paid off Cristiano Ronaldo, who has joined the Saudi league. They just paid Benzema. This came out yesterday, over $200 million in a year. That's just amazing, and these European clubs can't compete with that. Now they are picking off players that are towards the end of their career cycle. But if they were to offer, say, if they were to offer Mbappe $300 million a year, $400 million a year, could you truly turn that down? And for basketball and football, what if they turn their eyes to their sports? There's already a league, the XFL. What if they join a partnership in with The Rock, and they decide, hey, we want to pay Patrick Mahomes $200 million a year. We'll pay the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL each $200 million a year, fully guaranteed for 4 years to play for our league. What would the NFL do then? What if they did the same thing to the NBA? We'll offer LeBron James, Kevin Durant, uh, Nikola Jokic will offer them each $200 million a year to play in our league. They can afford it. They have the cash to do it. Again, they have a $500 billion city that they're about to invest in. They have the cash. Now, you might ask, why is Saudi Arabia even interested in that? Well, they're trying to diversify, their portfolio. This is a country that makes, I think all of its wealth from oil and gas, and if things truly move to eco-friendly fuels, then they'll be out of luck, and they'll see their revenues drop massively. So they're trying to invest in the future, and sports. We all know sports rights go up. Sports, draws tons of people. We saw what the World Cup would do, and what the World Cup does every 4 years. So they're probably thinking, hey, sports is probably a good investment. And you might think I'm crazy, but the Middle East kingdoms were able to purchase a World Cup. Just think about that. They were able to purchase a World Cup, to get it in Qatar, to get it in a country that wasn't equipped to do it. And because they weren't equipped to do it because of their hot temperatures in the summertime, they were able to switch it to the winter, and no one really blinked an eye. People complained about it, but they enjoyed, the final with Argentina versus France. So I think that if you're the commissioner of the NFL, if you're the commissioner of the NBA, you should be very, very concerned, because they have the money. Again, the money wins, and they have the money to wash you away. And they could really, really threaten the NFL and the NBA in ways that they're not prepared to fight back from. Again, what if they were to offer the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL $200 million a piece to play for 4 years in the Saudi Arabia XFL League? They could afford it. That's only $8 billion to them. They're willing to spend $500 billion on a city. They can afford it. Think about the new CBA that's coming into the NBA, about how restrictive it's going to be. There's talk about the middle class of the NBA being squeezed out. Players and the owners are constantly fighting. What if they say, hey, we're going to start a rival league? We can build all the arenas by ourselves. They have the cash to do it. And we're going to play the top players upwards of $200 million a year to play. We'll play the other players that are being squeezed by this new CBA, $20 to $30 million a year to play. We won't have as long of a schedule as there is in the NBA. We'll shorten the schedule. We'll make it, perfect for them. I think the NBA and the NFL definitely have to be concerned. I think this is an interesting development, and I'm interested to see how this plays out in the long term. All right, leave me a comment. Try to respond to all the comments, subscribe, and as always, the game is a game.